Hi guys, this is Sadak from TWRP.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest Evolution X ROM based on Android 15 onto your Galaxy A52s. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone, and then let's get started. First off, you will have to get hold of the ROM zip file. So get it from this link and transfer it onto your PC. And let me show you the ROM file. This is the ROM zip file. Once you have got the ROM file, you will now have to get hold of the latest Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I have done so in C drive, and as you could see, these are the files of platform tools. Just give me a second. So these are the files of platform tools. You will now have to transfer the ROM zip file inside the platform tools directory as well. So let's do that, and for the ease of convenience, rename the file to something shorter. So let's rename it to ROM, and the complete name becomes rom.zip. Moving on, your next course of action is to install the TWRP recovery onto your phone. So I've already made a video and a guide on the same, but still I'll show you once again how to get this job done. So in this regard, your first course of action is to unlock the bootloader. So for that, you will have to boot your phone to the download mode, then long press the volume up key. This will take you to the unlock mode, and from there once again press the volume up key and your phone's bootloader will be unlocked. Once it's unlocked, make sure to go online and then enable developer options and verify that the OEM unlocking toggle is enabled as well. So just to repeat, enable OEM unlocking and USB debugging, and then boot to the download mode. Long press the volume up key to enter the device unlock mode, then once again press the volume up key to unlock the bootloader, and then verify the status via the Vault Keeper. For that, you have to go online, connect to Wi-Fi, and make sure that the OEM unlocking is enabled in gray out. Once that is done, your next course of action is to get hold of the TWRP recovery and the VBMeta patch file. The VBMeta patch is required to disable the Android verified mode. So get both this file from here. Regarding the recovery as well, make sure to download the tar file and not the img file. You will get both the file here, but only download the tar file. Once you have got both the files, let's move ahead. Now you will have to get hold of the Odin tool to flash the recovery. So get it from here and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, let me show you the Odin tool files. You will get 4 files. These are the files as follows. Moving on, your next course of action is to boot your phone to the download mode. So you may do that either via the ADB command or the hardware key combination. For now, I'm using the ADB command. So in this regard, your first course of action is to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. If you haven't done so yet, so go to About Phone, Software Information, tap on build number 7 times. Then go back, go to Developer Options, and from here, make sure to enable the toggle next to USB debugging. You will get a prompt, tap on OK. And with this, the debugging is now enabled. You might get one more prompt. So tap on Allow, and with this, we have now enabled debugging. Let's verify the same. So go to the address bar of platform tools, type in CMD, hit enter. This will launch command from inside the platform tools directory. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then you have to unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB fixes and make sure that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, your next course of action is to boot your phone to the download mode. So for that, just type in ADB reboot download, and your phone should now reboot into download mode in a few seconds. Once that happens, you will now have to launch the Odin tool. So let's get that job done as well. This is the Odin tool launched via the exe file. You will get a prompt, click on OK. And now verify that your phone is shown here in the COM section. Any COM number will get the job done, and likewise in the log also, it should show as added. So your first course of action now is to go to the option tab and uncheck auto reboot. This is very important. Now click on AP and load the recovery tar file, which is this one. Likewise, click on user data and load the VBMeta patch file, which is this one. Click on open. So just let me verify. This is the patch VBMeta file and this is the recovery file. Okay, well and good. Finally, hit the start button and both the files will now be flashed onto your phone in just a few seconds. Once the flashing is complete, you will now have to press and hold the volume and the power down key for around. You will now have to press the power and the volume down key for around 7 seconds. Then as soon as your phone is about to undergo a restart, let go of the keys and then press and hold the power and the volume up key. So let me show you what I mean. First off, let's press and hold the power and the volume down keys. So keep holding both the keys for around 7 seconds until your phone gets powered off or is about to restart. And once that happens, you will then have to press and hold the power and the volume up key. Now keep on holding both this key for around, I guess, 7 to 8 seconds until your phone boots to the warning screen. So let me keep it holding for a few more seconds, and then you may let go of the keys. So let's wait, and now you may release the key. And if everything is done well and good, then your phone should now reboot to the TWRP recovery. But if you haven't pressed the key at the right time, then your phone will either boot to the stock recovery or the OS, in which case you will have to reflash the recovery using the AP and the data slot as I've shown you here. So let me verify if in my case the recovery has been flashed or not. So as you could see, the recovery has been flashed, but we are only done half the job. Your last course of action now is to do a format data. This will remove the encryption, and then you will be able to access the storage as well. And if you don't do a format data, then you will not be able to access the OS even. So for accessing the OS and the data partition, you will have to do a format data. Likewise, go to reboot and select recovery. This will remount the data partition now, and then we could move ahead with the next step. So since the recovery has been flashed, we could now flash the ROM file as well. So this is the guide. So we are done with the third step. So now let's start with the fourth step, and in this fourth step, we will first off have to wipe a few partition as well, which is the cache, Dalvik cache and metadata partition as well. Although this is optional, but it's highly recommended that you do so. So go to wipe and just wait for a few seconds, and then tap on wipe, advanced wipe, and now check mark the following partition, the cache, Dalvik cache and the metadata, and swipe to wipe. Once that is done, again do a format data just to be on safer side, and the formatting is also done. Now what you have to do is reboot to recovery once again. So do keep in mind that the first time when we did our format data and reboot to recovery, that was a step for the flashing of the recovery, but now we are doing all this for the flashing of the ROM zip file and not for the recovery. And it does not matter even if you have done a format data, you are doing it once again. It's not a cause of any concern. We have to do this once again because it's the ROM instruction. Although you might not have any data left, but just to be on safer side, I am doing a format data once again and then reboot to the recovery. Once that is done, you could now transfer the ROM zip file onto your phone. First off, verify if you could access the phone storage from here or not. So in my case, I cannot access the storage. Well, that's not a cause of concern. You may get the job done via adb push command as well. Just type in adb push, file name which is rom.zip and / space / and SD card, and the ROM will be transferred in the SD card. Do note that apart from SD card, you may also use the data or the temp directory, but it's recommended to stay with the SD card only. Apart from that, you may also use an USB, OTG or a pen drive if you have, but please do not use the adb sideload method because sideloading is only used with the AOSP recovery like Lineage OS recovery. In case of Orange Fox, Pitch Black and TWRP, you will always have to use either the USB mount method or the adb push or the MTP method. So with that said, let's just wait for the ROM to be transferred onto your phone. So guys, the file has now been transferred. Let me show you that as well. So go to install. As you could see, this is the ROM zip file. Just select it and swipe to wipe. The flashing will now start, and it will take up to around only a few seconds as opposed to all the other custom ROMs or all the other Android phone. Flashing a custom ROM in case of Samsung's via the TWRP recovery usually only take up to around 15-20 seconds. As you could see, it's quite fast. So let's wait for the flashing to complete, and after that you will once again have to do a format data just to be on the safer side. So formatting the data before flashing a ROM and after flashing a ROM, both should be done. And let's wait for a few more seconds. So guys, the flashing has now been done. Now if you want to flash any other zip file, then first do a reboot to recovery and only then flash the required zip file. On the other hand, if you don't want to flash any other zip file, then your last course of action is to do a wipe format data once again just to be on the safer side, and your last course of action is to also wipe the following partition, cache, Dalvik art cache and the metadata. Swipe to wipe. Once that is done, you will now tap on reboot system and your phone will now reboot to the newly flashed OS. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent times, that will not be the case. So with that said, let's just wait for the boot animation or the boot logo to appear, either of which will signify that the flashing has been done successfully, and it might take up to around 10 to 15 more seconds for the boot logo to appear. And after that, we will then set up the ROM file and then we will have a look at the ROM features as well. So give it a few more seconds for it to boot up. So this is the boot animation, as you could see, and now this process might take up to around 30 to 40 seconds, so let's just wait for that. So guys, the boot up is now complete. Let's set up the ROM, which will take only a few seconds. So let's get started. As of now, I'm skipping the initial setup process. If you want, you may connect your phone to the Wi-Fi, link your Google account and restore all the data, but I am skipping all that stuff just to fasten up the process. So let's accept all these terms and conditions, skip this as well, and with this we are now inside the latest Evolution X ROM based on Android 15, as you could see. So it has the pre-installed Google apps because it's a GApps based ROM. Apart from that, there are a few third-party apps such as the Accord app, which is a music player app. You may get hold of music from here, recommendations, browse your local storage, library, search for the songs from here. Then you have the BCR automatic call recording app. And apart from that, the rest are the Google apps only. Let's first check out the Android 15 features. So we have the power menu and the QS tiles. Then you also have the option to do a screen recording in one single app. Choose record one app, hit next, and choose the app of your choice. Then the recording will only happen inside that app. Even if you make a switch to any other app, the recording will pause and only resume once you are back in that app. Anyways, moving on. Apart from that, let's have a new. So this is the new revamped settings menu as well with Android 15. Then the power menu, let me have a look at that. So this is the new power menu of Android 15. You may also add a new device from here and access the audio settings and tweak the volumes or change the ringtones from here. Apart from that, we also have a private space. Let me see whether it should be there in this section as well. So let's first set a screen lock. For the ease of convenience, I'm using a 3x3 pattern, although you will have to choose a stronger pattern or password or pin. And now you could access the private space. You could either choose the same lock which you have for the lock screen or choose a new lock. As of now, I'm choosing a same lock just to speed up the process. And the process is now complete. It will just take a few more seconds. And you could now easily add the app inside the private space over here. Just unlock it and add the app over here. And apart from that, you even have the option to hide the private space from the app drawer as well. Simply enable the toggle and lock it once and it will now be hidden, as you could see. To unlock it, you may either use the search bar or the settings menu. Then apart from that, let's now have a look at the Android 15 tweaks that the ROM brings with itself. So first off, we have the theme section. Over here, you could theme the UI UX of the ROM. So let's go with the blue, hit apply, and it's now implemented. Likewise, you may also choose from any one of these themes. And as you could see, the color has been changed. For now, let's get back to the default theming engine only. Then you have the wallpaper styles over here. If you want, you may enable the wallpaper blur, but that does not look nice. But still, let me show you. For example, I've chosen the lock screen blur, and as you could see, it's now implemented. In the home screen is the actual one, as you could see. Okay, so I have chosen the lock wallpaper, but it's implemented across both the lock and the home wallpaper because both are the same wallpaper. I don't know if that is what they mean by this. Anyway, let's keep it turned off for now because I am not a fan of this style. And let's get back to the tweak. Apart from that, you have the brightness ladder style. So let's choose the leafy outline. This is my favorite. Let me show you. And this is the new leafy outline shape. And these are the various shapes that you could choose from. Let's say rounded clip. And let's have a look at that as well. So this is the leaf brightness slider new style, which is the rounded clip. Then you may choose from any one of these. After that, you have the notification style. These are the notification. Let me see whether I have a notification or not. Let's go with iOS. And let me see the style. So, well, it does not looks very nice. It tried its best to emulate the iOS notification, but it completely failed in that aspect. Anyway, let's go back to the default only. Then you have the power menu style. Let's say iOS style, and let me see how it does this time around. Okay, up to an extent you may say it has copied the power menu style, but not that much. Still, the progress bar style, you may choose from any one of these. Volume panel style, let's go with new morph. And now let me show you that as well. So as you could see, this is the one, new morph style. Apart from that, you have the lock screen sound style. There are quite a lot of options from the Windows Oxygen OS 14, MIUI, LG phones as well, Hyper OS. Let's say Windows device, system UI restart, and let's now hear the sound, if it's whether it's possible to hear or not. Okay, so the sound is working well and good. Let me sound it once again. This is quite a nifty feature over here. Then apart from that, you may also add an unlock sound. Let's go with, let's say, One UI, system UI restart, and let's hear that sound as well. Okay, so it was the sound was there as well. Then you have the various Android font style. Whatever font is used will be applied across both the third-party apps, system apps, and entire UI and UX of the OS as well. As you could see, let me show you. This is one of the font style. Then you may enable the theme icons in the Pixel launcher as well. Regarding the icons, this is the status bar icons. Let's enable a few toggles: DND, flashlight, aeroplane mode, and let me now show you the icon changes. Let's go with the lawn, and as you could see, the change is now implemented. Likewise, there are various icons to choose from. Then you also have the icon shape in the app drawer and the home screen. Both of them will be implemented, and as you could see, the change is implemented right away. Next up, we have the signal icon for the carrier data. Again, it's a never-ending long list of icons. Same is the case with the Wi-Fi icon styles that you could choose from. Then we have, okay, there are some custom boot animations as well, and there are way too much option to choose from. The pack ROM is no longer there, but earlier this was one of the most popular ROMs out there. Then, okay, Resurrection Remix was probably the best customizable ROM which you could ever get your hands on. Unfortunately, it's no longer there, but they bring back so many memories. And the Cyanogen mode was the OG of custom ROMs. If you have stepped foot into the custom development, then this was the first custom ROM which you might have flashed. Okay, so let's stick with this one only. And you have a screen of animations. To enable this, you might have to do a system UI restart. Okay, yes. So we will do that at the end of the video, and then we will have a look at that. Then you have a few. So we are done with the status bar. No, it's remaining inside the lock screen, that is remaining as well. So only we are done with the themes. There were quite a lot of options. Now let's have a look at the lock screen tweaks, the clock face. So you may choose from any one of these clock styles, and this is the coding style. And that's not it, you may even change the font from here of the clock styles. There are again quite a lot of options that you could have a look at. For example, this is one of them. Just hit the apply and it's implemented. You may change the font along the similar lines and go with any one of your choice. Let's go with this one. For now, let me apply the coding style themes. That was quite nice, but for this you have to choose the default font only, because otherwise it's non-readable. So let's now go back, and now you may also add an AOD image if you want. If you have in the gallery, currently there is no image in the gallery, so I cannot show you. Widgets, you may add widgets in the lock screen. Okay, so this feature has finally made its way in this ROM as well. Initially this was there in the Rising OS, but now this feature is there in Evolution X as well. So we have a couple of big widgets. Let me add them, and a few random small widgets as well. Let's say Ringer, and hit the apply button, and now wait for a few seconds and then lock the screen, and let's have a look. Well, that's strange. Only we are getting the two big widgets. I think that might be because of the lock screen clock, because that's taking quite a lot of space. Let me have a look if I could change the clock from here, and let me choose a simple clock. Let's say this one, but that does not make any sense as such. Still, let's see. Okay, so that was not the case. I don't know why the widgets are not working. Only the two large screen widgets are working. The smaller ones are currently not working. I guess they might need a system UI restart. So let's do a restart after all, because quite a few features are currently not working along the expected lines. So let's apply this, and then I will do a restart as well. With that said, let's get back to the lock screen, and over here then we have the navigation bar. Enable navigation bar lock screen widgets, but currently they are not working along the expected lines. You may also add media cover in the lock screen as well, and show the charging stats. As you could see, currently is at the bottom, it's showing as well, it's beneath the fingerprint icon, so you might have to remove the fingerprint and then only it will be shown. You could either go for, okay, so now in the AOD is showing as 71% charge. Again in the AOD as well, you could see only the settings icon is shown, but not the clock styles are not being shown. So currently it's all messed up. Let me just do a restart once. I know it's a hard time waiting. They don't even have the option to restart to the system UI, so I have left with no choice but to do a restart of the OS. But this was required now because quite a few features are currently not working along the expected line. First off was the screen lock unlock animation, and then we have the clocks, the widgets, the AOD. All of them are facing some issues, so I first have to verify if the issue is from my end or there's something wrong with the ROM. So just give me a few seconds. Although there is no option to do a system UI restart, but that's not a cause of concern because you could do a restart. It's just that it will take some more time. And this is the new boot animation which we have applied from the Cyanogen mode ROM. Let me focus on it, and as you could see now, okay, so now everything is working well and good. Most of the things are working well and good. The 4 small widgets are there as well, and the clock and battery is now there in the AOD as well. So if you ever face any UI UX issues while setting up the ROM, just make sure to do a system UI restart, and that's just about it. So there's nothing wrong with the ROM. That's quite great to see. So moving on, we were in the lock screen section of the ROM, I suppose, which, okay, you may also enable the weather in the lock screen, but this will require GPS and Wi-Fi to be enabled at all times, which in turn will lead to additional battery drainage. Then apart from that, okay, so we don't have fingerprint icons or animations over here. So that's quite a sad news. Anyway, you may control the brightness from the status bar as well. Let me show you. Just a minute. As you could see, it's working well and good. Quick pull down, let's say both sides, and wait for a few seconds, and now let's have a look. So it is also working along the expected line. Clock and date, you may change the clock positioning and then show the AM PM style as well, show the date as well next to the clock, but this will then eat up most of the space and you will not be able to see the notifications. So make sure to keep it either the small, or if you want, you may simply remove the clocks as well to give some space to the app icons as well. Then you may also add a background chip to the clock. Let me show you that as well. It's now added. Let me remove it for now. Then you may change the battery style, let's say landscape iOS 16, and it's now changed. And you may show or hide the battery percentage as well, even add a logo. Let's choose a logo. By default it's set to Evolution X, and you have these various options. Let's say Xbox logo, and it's now set at the top left, like, but for now let me turn off the logo. Then you may enable the colored icons, and this will be taken place after a system UI restart. The white icon should be replaced by the colored icons. Let's have a look at that. As you could see, it's now colored icons, same as you get in the app drawer. Then you may enable the notification count, which will show the pending notification on the app icons. Next up, we have the QS tweaks as well. Brightness slider, when you want to open it or change it, show the brightness percentage in the slider as well. As you could see, it's shown there. You may add an header image as well. Choose from any one of these, and as you could see, it's now implemented. Let me show you. Or you may choose from any one of these collections. There are quite a lot of options. This is the maximum piece of animation styles that I have seen over here. These many options are not there on any custom ROMs till date. Let's see this one, and you may just tap on the required image and implement it. You may also customize the image if required from here. And then after that, you have the option to change the clock style in the header image. Let's go with Oxygen OS, and let me see. As you could see, the 1 and 0 has been changed. Then you may change the battery style of the QS styles as well. Let's say big circle, and let me verify it once. And as you could see, it's now changed. QS styles, let's go with circle tiles, and this will bring back the Android 11 style QS styles, as you could see over here. Let's see if we can add more tiles over here or not. So from here, okay, so we can add more tiles. Let's increase one more column, and this will look much better. Just give me a second. As you could see, this takes some space, but it looks much nice. You may also add or remove rows and columns of the tiles from this section and add an animation. So when you use this tiles, it will animate as well, as you could see over here. Then apart from that, these are some advanced tweaks which you don't require. Then in the notifications, you may enable edge lightning. So whenever you get a notification, the edges of the phone will light up. You may change the color of that lightning as well if required. Then next up, you have the kill app in the notification long press menu. Let me have a look. So you may long press on it and tap on this. You will get the force stop button, but please don't force stop a system app. That might lead to a few issues. Next up, we have the power menu actions. So advanced reboot is there, but in advanced reboot, whatever options we had, power off, restart. So we have the system recovery and the download mode. Thankfully, we have the download mode. I have seen in some Samsung ROM that they end up giving the fast boot mode, which is just not required. But a system UI mode should also have been given there anyways, not a major cause of concern. Then we have a few miscellaneous tweaks as well. Component spoofing plain integrity fix. This is very important. First off, go online and tap on update plain integrity fix. And after this, you will be able to pass the basic and the device test. Although you will not pass the strong test, but that's not a cause of concern because most of the banking and payment app does not require that test to pass. But if your app required the strong test as well, then you could refer to my guide and get hold of the Keybox XML file and pass the strong test as well. I made a video on the same. You could check that out. Apart from that, you may enable the pixel props and get hold of some tensor features as well. In this, you will get the latest Pixel 7, 8, 9 features. The Play Store spoof is also there, which will update to the latest Google Pixel device. Then you have the Google Photo spoof. So, okay, you will have to do a system restart. In this, you will get the option to upload original quality images without any compression whatsoever. Likewise, you may enable the Snapchat spoof as well. But keep in mind that you cannot enable multiple spoof. You can only enable multiple spoof if they are of the same phone. For example, the Google Photo spoof and the Snapchat both will spoof your phone to the Pixel XL. But the Play Store spoof will do so for the latest Pixel phone. So your phone cannot be a Pixel 9 and the Pixel XL at the same time. So please only enable one of these two features. Keep this point in mind. Hide app list. So you may also hide the apps from banking and payment app. For example, you may hide various routing apps such as Matches, LS Post from the banking and payment app from here. A similar app known as the Hide My App List is also there on GitHub. I made a video on that. You could check that out. Then we have the Smart Pixel option wherein you could turn off 3/4 of the pixel whenever the battery is low, or you could also change this number as well as per the requirement. Let's keep that off for now. The USB configuration, you may change it from here. It's quite hidden. You may also access it from the notification panel as well from here. Then unlimited screen recording size is also there. You may also do an application downgrade. If it's not supported by the OS, you may enable this, and this will allow you to do a downgrade. And then we are left with the USB features with the wallpaper and style. So you may change the clock style from this section. As you could see, they are being changed, and currently I have the clock style for the coding, so it's well and good for me. Then you may also change the theme from here, these various color themes. So go to other color and choose a color from here. Likewise, you may switch between the light and the dark theme from here. Let's stick with the dark theme for now. Then you have other options in the home screen, such as enabling the themed icons, and as you could see, they are now enabled. Likewise, you may change the app grid size. Maximum is 5x5, and that is what I was requiring. So that's it. Let's have a look at the home settings as well. So over here, we don't have much options to tweak. These are the various basic features. So you may turn off the at a glance, and at a glance is this widget. If you want, you may turn that off, but let's keep it enabled for now. So guys, on that note, I round off this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, whether the flashing or the features, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.